Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. May 10th. Free at last. Another great dividend we may expect from confiding our defects to another human being is humility. A word often misunderstood. It amounts to a clear recognition of what and who we really are, followed by a sincere attempt to become what we could be. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 58. I knew deep inside that if I were ever to be joyous, happy, and free, I had to share my past life with some other individual. The joy and relief I experienced after doing so were beyond description. Almost immediately after taking the fifth step, I felt free from the bondage of self and the bondage of alcohol. That freedom remains after 36 years, a day at a time. I found that God could do for me what I couldn't do for myself. Courage to change. One day at a time in Al-Anon, May 10th. I am so grateful to belong to a fellowship where everyone speaks for himself or herself. Al-Anon has no spokesperson, no authority who tells what our experience has been. I am the only one who can tell my story. I find it very comforting to be a part of a group of people who share some of my problems and feelings. Although we have much in common, each Al-Anon member has unique wisdom to offer. Through the interchange of experience, strength, and hope, we learn specific ways in which fellow members have applied the Al-Anon program to their situations. Taking what we like and leaving the rest, each of us is free to benefit from this individual approach to our common purpose. Recovery from the effects of alcoholism. So when I share in a meeting, I try to avoid phrases such as, "This is a problem for us," or "we tend to do that." Instead, I look at sharing as an opportunity to see myself more clearly. Today's reminder. Today I will speak for myself, secure in the fact that I am supported by a fellowship of men and women who understand as perhaps few others can. There is a quote by Anonymity in Al-Anon, and it reads, "Our recovery is reflected in our ability to tell our own story, not that of an alcoholic or another Al-Anon or Alateen member." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, May 10th. Becoming entirely ready. We get a good look at what these defects are doing to our lives. We begin to long for freedom from these defects. Basic text, page 34. Becoming entirely ready to have our defects of character removed can be a long process, often taking place over the course of a lifetime. Our start of readiness grows in direct proportion to our awareness of these defects and the destruction they cause. We may have trouble seeing the devastation our defects are inflicting on our lives and the lives of those around us. If this is the case, we could do well to ask our higher power to reveal those flaws which stand in the way of our progress. As we let go of our shortcomings and find their influence waning, we'll notice that a loving God replaces those defects with quality attributes. Where we were fearful, we find courage. Where we were selfish, we find generosity. Our delusions about ourselves will disappear to be replaced by self-honesty and self-acceptance. Yes, becoming entirely ready means we will change. Each new level of readiness brings new gifts. Our basic nature changes, and we soon find our readiness is no longer sparked only by pain, but by a desire to grow spiritually. Just for today, I will increase my state of readiness by becoming more aware of my shortcomings. Today, Emotions Anonymous, May 10th. Reflection for today. I often did things for others to make me feel good about myself, but the good feelings lasted only temporarily. What an exciting discovery to become aware my good feelings could never last from only doing. Good feelings had to come to me from being, as in being aware of what is really going on inside of me and accepting myself as I am, being responsible for myself, sharing my feelings with others, and asking for what I need. Self-worth is actually a byproduct of being honest. By following the guidance of my higher power, who often works through other people, I can take the risk of being myself and letting my actions be led. Meditation for today. Thank you, God, for this new understanding. If I forget and try to go back to get my self-worth from only doing, I trust you will give me a nudge to let me know I am headed down the wrong path. Today I will remember self-worth comes from being honest and responsible. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. May 10th. Family relationships. At an appropriate time, we review the relationship we want to have with our families. We will choose to avoid some family members because they are draining or abusive. BRB, Big Red Book, page 123. Even though we live through the same experiences as others in our families, we may have reacted differently and developed different scars and ways of coping that often divided us much more than it united us. When we began our recovery in ACA, this divide makes it more difficult to be around the circus that is our extended family. With practice, resolve, and support from other ACAs, we give ourselves permission to avoid situations that can drain us of all energy and even cause us to revert to our own dysfunctional behaviors. If we think some family members are too toxic and abusive, we can disconnect. We don't have to participate because we know how emotionally draining they are. We have a choice. We don't have to go down with a sinking ship. This separation doesn't have to be forever. Many of us eventually get to the point of reintroducing our true selves to the family, and we let them make the choice to interact with us on our terms or not. The affirmation reads, "On this day, I give myself permission to separate from my family's dysfunction. This gives me the opportunity to become who I am meant to be, not who I am expected to be." This is DHB Recovery Network, daily affirmations, reflections, devotions, and meditations, read by me, and I am Day. DAA are my initials. Please subscribe, like, and share. And most of all, be the you that you are created to be, one day at a time.